When most of us think about financial trading, we picture, well, chaos, right? Just a jumble of flashing numbers and pure, unpredictable luck. But what if I told you there's a way to find control in that chaos? And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Is trading just a big, expensive guessing game? Are people just betting on gut feelings and chasing hype? For a lot of folks, that's exactly what it feels like. But if you talk to a real professional, you'll get a very, very different answer. So how do you make that leap? How do you go from feeling like you're just rolling the dice to actually being in the driver's seat? It all starts with a shift in mindset, from chaos to control. You know, it really boils down to two completely different approaches. Over on one side, you've got the gambling mindset. This is all about emotion, making impulsive decisions and jumping on whatever's trending. Then on the other side, you have the professional mindset. It's systematic, it's patient, incredibly patient, and it is completely obsessed with managing risk above all else. They're just playing two different games. And here's the kicker. The thing that separates these two mindsets, it isn't a secret formula or just getting lucky. The difference is a protocol. Okay, so what in the world is this professional's protocol? Let's peel back the layers and actually see what it's made of. A trading protocol is basically your personal rule book for the market. It's a super strict, totally objective set of rules that you follow, no matter what your gut is screaming at you. Its whole job is to filter out all the noise, to confirm what the trend is actually doing, and, this is the most important part, to manage your risk before you even think about putting a single dollar on the line. Now, a pro's protocol isn't built on just one magical indicator. No way. It's more like a toolkit, a fusion of different ways to look at the market. So they might use Elliott Wave to understand the market psychology, then look at Ichimoku to check the overall balance, and maybe use the Wyckoff method to see what the big institutions are up to. It's about combining these views to get a full 3D picture of what's happening. I know, that sounds incredibly complicated, right? But here's the beautiful part. A good protocol takes all that complex analysis and boils it down into a simple, repeatable process. For a trader, it really just comes down to 3 core steps. And this is it. It's a simple, logical flow that you follow every single time. First, you zoom out and analyze the big picture. Second, you zoom in and pinpoint your exact entry. And third, you figure out your risk. That's the sequence. Every time, no exceptions. So let's look at step 1, analyze the big picture. Think of this as your first filter. The protocol asks a really simple question. Is the price above or below a major indicator, like the 200-day moving average or the Ichimoku Cloud? If it's above, you're only looking to buy, period. If it's below, you're only looking to sell. This one little rule stops you from one of the biggest mistakes in trading, fighting the main trend. All right, on to step 2, identify the entry point. And this, my friends, is where patience becomes your superpower. A pro doesn't just see the price moving and jump in. Oh no. They wait for what's called a confluence. It's like waiting for the stars to align. They're waiting for the price to hit a key support level that also lines up with a key Fibonacci level, and they want to see a specific candle pattern show up right at that spot. When all those things happen together, that's a high probability entry. And finally, step 3, which is arguably the most important one of all, calculate the risk. Before a trade is even placed, the protocol forces you to answer one question. At what price is my idea proven wrong? That's your invalidation point. It's your stop loss. For a professional, knowing when to get out isn't an afterthought. It's the very first thing they decide. So you've gone through all 3 steps. What do you actually have to show for it? Well, you get what we're calling the final blueprint. What this whole process gives you is a trade with a clear mathematical edge. A common goal is a risk-to-reward ratio of at least 1 to 3. So what does that mean? It means for every single dollar you're willing to risk, you stand to make $3 if you're right. This is huge because it means you can be wrong more often than you're right and still be profitable over the long run. And this is what it looks like in the end. A trading blueprint. It's a totally objective plan. It tells you exactly where to get in, exactly where to get out if you're wrong, and exactly where you plan to take profits. There's no more guessing. There's no more, what should I do now? Every single decision is made before the trade even begins. But that brings us to our final and honestly most important point. Because listen, having the world's best plan is one thing, but actually following it when things get crazy is something else entirely. At the end of the day, discipline is the real edge. Think about it this way. You can have the most detailed, perfect map to get you to your destination, But that map is totally useless if you don't have a navigator to keep you on the route. The protocol is your map, but your own discipline, that's the navigator that has to keep you on track when fear and greed are trying to pull you off course. There's this amazing analogy from the source material that just hits the nail on the head. The market is like the tide. A protocol doesn't control the ocean, but it allows a ship to navigate it safely. I mean, that's perfect, right? You're not trying to control this massive, uncontrollable force. You're just using a system to safely navigate through it. So, what's the big takeaway here? The ultimate edge? The real secret sauce in trading? It's not some hidden indicator you have to buy. It's not a magic algorithm. It's just a solid system that you can actually follow, day in and day out with unwavering discipline. And that leaves us with a final question to think about. This whole idea of using a disciplined system to manage complexity and keep emotions in check, that's not just for trading. It works for fitness goals, for building a business, for learning any new skill. So I'll leave you with this. Where else in your life could a protocol like this help you turn chaos into control?